Hey friends, welcome back to my garden. Well, the patio for now. Um, of course I've been out here every day, but I have not been sharing everything that I've been doing, mainly because there have been a lot of changes in life and in the garden as well. And if you've been here before, you know that the garden is my refuge. So I have been using it as exactly that. I've been using it as my refuge and not necessarily coming out and sharing every single thing that I've been doing. But then today I came out and I realized that there are a lot of things that I do need to share because some of them can be helpful. Many of them can be helpful. And then just to come and share with you guys, I love to do that. And so I'm going to do that today. There are a few things that I do want to talk to you about. So let's get into it. All right. So first things first, let's talk about squash. So every year I fight the squash vine borer. Every single year. And every year I have lost. Yes, I have. But this year I have been very, very diligent. I actually used row cover, which I've had row cover in previous years, but I don't love to use it, so I didn't use it. And of course, I lost every squash plant I had, including the tatume squash, which is supposed to be resistant to the vine borer. Got a couple of squashes, everything was gone after that. This year, I actually did use the row cover. This is why I have hoops here, and I'm also employing the vertical growing technique. So I'm trying to, these are supposed to, let me step back. You see this vine right here, that's spaghetti squash. Normally that would just crawl along the ground in either direction, wherever I put it. But then I would have to go check the entire vine for frass or for little worms or eggs or whatever it is. Growing them vertically is supposed to make it easier, and it has been easier. I would just come out here and squat down and like examine the stems for any frass or any damage. Like this right here, this is damage from inconsistent watering because we had a lot of rain and then we've had a lot of heat. So that's nothing, but I would just come out here and literally go up the vine and check it. Well, when it was small, it was like this. So this is a spaghetti squash. Both of these are spaghetti squashes. Small like this, I would just come in and lift up the leaves and look underneath and do other things. And growing it vertically made it easier to do that. So there's two things that I employed: row covers and growing vertically. Same thing here. These are crookneck squashes. Did the same thing with those. In fact, the row cover just covered this entire area from there over to here. Problem with using row covers is you have to take them off in order for the squashes to be pollinated. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy gardener. I've said this many times before. If you've been on the channel for a while, you already know that about me. If you're new here, let me just tell you, I am a lazy gardener. So, I would not come out and take that. I'm not the person that's going to come out and take the row cover off and then put it back on and take it back off and then put it back on. Once it's off, it's off. So that's what's happening here. I already took it off, but I did not take it off in time to catch some of the zucchini that was already flowering. So, or the squashes that were already flowering. So I missed quite a few, like you can see down in there. Some of them are not surviving, and that's because they didn't get pollinated. So now the row covers are off, and I'm getting squashes. So great. We're going to go over on the other side. I'm going to show you this one had an actual, just the cloth, the row cover as a cloth over the whole top. I'm going to go over to the other side and show you another zucchini that had like a mesh bag over it because it's in a pot, and that works really well. It's very convenient. So let's go take a look at this. Like, I don't want to speak too soon, but I feel like I'm winning because every day I have been coming out here, like I said before, and checking the stems for anything like black or any color actually that is not moving, because that means it's an egg. I've also been looking for frass. I've also been growing vertically because they say that helps. This one I had like a little bag, I'll try to show it to you, that was covering everything. And sometimes when I see leaves like this, I feel like, okay, this is either from inconsistent watering. Too much water sometimes can do that, or it's from squash vine borer. But I haven't seen anything on here. And I have, look at that zucchini. I should have pulled this one probably yesterday or the day before, because this right here is too big, but I'm going to go ahead and pull it today. I'm going to cut it off today. But I'm excited because I never actually get to this point because the borer gets to them first. Now, really quickly, I want to show you something. This right here, so here's flowers. I might have to go show you this on the other squash on the other side. But this right here will be a male flower that comes out because there's nothing on the back side of it. Normally there would be a bulge right here that would turn into the zucchini or the squash. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have one on here to show you. When the flowers open up, I have to take the row covers off so that the pollinators can get to it, because the only way that you get an actual zucchini or squash is if you take the pollen from the male flower down to the female flower, which would normally be right here on this end. You can see down here I have one that has shriveled up. Can you see that right there? One that has shriveled up. That would have been a zucchini, but it did not get pollinated, and I just left it on here. And that's what it looks like when nothing happens. Let's see if I can show you on the other plant back on the other side. Oh yeah, here's going to be a really great example. So this one, let's see. Oh, do I see frass? No, that's a break. That's a tear. This long baby here, these are all male flowers. It's a male, there's nothing back behind it. It's a male, there's nothing back behind it. This would have been, of course, a female, but it did not get pollinated. This, of course, is a female that did get pollinated because it has the little squash coming on. Let's see if we can see one as it's coming on. This one is a spaghetti squash as well, which may have to come up because they're too close together. But look at this. A squash that did not get pollinated. A squash that did. It's a beautiful sight. But I really want to show you one that is just now coming on. Look at that crookneck squash. Yay! No borers. I'm going to knock on wood somewhere and thank God. Praise him, praise him. But here we go. Again, here's one that did not get pollinated. But the ones that do, oh my God. I'm going to pull this one today because that's the perfect size. Let's see what we have. This one has a ton on it, but none of them are getting pollinated. So I might have to come change some things with this one. I don't see any frass. I don't see any indication of any like eggs or anything. And unfortunately, I don't see a flower bud coming on where I can show you what it looks like. So when I can capture that, I will definitely show you. But for now, we're just happy that we are actually getting squash out of these things. Only thing about growing vertically using this thing is that it's hard to get in there and cut what I need to cut. So I might have to change that up a little bit. There we go. Beauteous. So one of the things that I really wanted to share with you guys is this. Houston Zone 9A. That's where I am. I'm in Cypress, which is a northwest suburb of Houston. This over here was the first, this garden and that portion right there, minus the little curved part. It just went straight to the fence. Those were the first two that we built back in 2017 as part of the One Room Challenge. Now, Houston is unlike any other area, I believe, in this country, because weird things happen. You know, lately we've been getting, since 2020, we've been getting a freeze every year, pretty late on in the year. We were not used to that. We were used to having snow and a freeze maybe, you know, every couple of years, and never anything hard. In terms of growing food, summers are great for us because they're really, really hot, and they're really like, water is scarce. I'll just say that. We don't have droughts necessarily. I mean, we do sometimes, but you know, things like tomatoes, which is what's in this bed this year, and cucumbers, which is in that bed this year, do really well for us because they love the heat, they love the sunshine, they love those things. But we just have to water a lot. Now, I've always had success with those things. I've not had success with things like brassicas until last year. Last year, I was able to grow broccoli, cauliflower. Well, some brassicas. My collards always do great. You guys know that. If you've been around for a while, you know that my collards grow like trees. They're beautiful. But brassicas like this cauliflower, that broccoli, there are some cabbages still over on that side, some Brussels sprouts. Those things don't normally do well for me. Last year they did pretty okay. This year they're still going. This is why this is so strange. You can see I have tomatoes. That's a beefsteak. There's Hot House in the back. These are San Marzanos. Those two are San Marzanos. Those are Romas. Those are Camparis. They're doing amazing. As a matter of fact, the Romas, I didn't get out here and pinch the flowers soon enough, so they're already growing, and so are the San Marzanos. I don't know if you can see in there. There are actual tomatoes on the vine. Look at that. Beautiful, right? It's just really weird because at the same time, those are summertime veggies, but at the same time, we have broccoli still growing, and they're babies. Like these are babies, and they're still surviving, and they're doing great. Like, this one I think is either a cauliflower or a cabbage. I don't know. But these things should not be doing okay right now. Like, they should be struggling. This leaf is scalded, but that's one leaf out of the whole plant. How in the world do we have basil and tomatoes, broccoli, cauliflower, and radicchio growing at the same time in the same bed? Only in Houston, Texas, I tell you. This right here, these are carrots. How this is happening, I do not know. I know that I planted them there and they didn't do anything for a long, long time. There's a turnip on the other side. That's something that's left over. But the carrots, I know I planted them here. But the fact that they're still going in May, and it's like 90-some degrees today, they look beautiful. The carrot tops are edible and they are absolutely delicious. But the carrots themselves are still growing and they're not struggling. They're not brown. They're not anything except this baby. That's not a carrot. That right there is a weed called dog fennel. And it's no good. I'm going to pull that. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and get that out of there right now. Hold on. Oh, it doesn't want to go. All right, we might have to come back for that one. But this has to go because it is very, very invasive. And it is also toxic to dogs, oddly enough. Anyway, just one of those odd things about Houston, Texas, and how things grow here. So anybody who says that like weather changes are not that big a deal, they're absolutely insane. And this is proof of it. This other bed back here that's behind me, like there's no way that cucumbers and a purple cabbage should be growing together in the same bed at the exact same moment in time. God is amazing, nature is amazing, but also climate. I'm not going to say the other word with it, but climate is a thing, and we have to pay attention to it as gardeners. Farmers, I feel really, I don't feel sorry for them, but I feel for them because there's a lot of work that goes into what's happening in terms of the weather patterns, and that can make things hard or can make things really, really easy. These days, it's making things a little bit harder than normal, in my opinion. But I'm not going to bother with it too much. I am just going to harvest what I can harvest and thank God for it and keep doing what I do and let things grow for as long as they will grow, and reap the harvest, reap the benefits, reap what I sow. So that's it from the garden today, you guys. Until next time, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope to see you again in the garden. Till then, bye.